معانا معالي سفير أوكرانيا في القاهرة. هو بس بيعلمني أنطق اسمه صح إزاي، فيفجين كيريلينكو.
Yes.
Right, good. So closer. Your Excellency, would Ukraine split?
No. No. And I tell you why.
What do you remind me of the percentages of those who are from Russian background?
Percentages, yes. It's if we take Ukraine in general, so it's about 18% of the Russians are in Ukraine.
Okay.
But if you take, and 77 Ukrainians, but if you take Crimea, it's about 60% of the Russians, 24% of Ukraine, and 12 Tatars.
Oh, Tatars, okay.
You know, by the way, that Tatars, Crimean Tatars, are the autonomous population.
Also have some kind of autonomy in terms of government, language, education.
And in 1944, Stalin deported them from the Crimea to Siberia. He accused the Tatars, the Bulgarians, and the Greeks of collaboration with the German fascists.
Wow.
And they took these railway carriages which carry cattle. So they put women, children, and took them, God knows where, to Siberia. And people told me that mostly women do not, how to say it, do not relieve pains of nature in view of other people. So they have to do it, you know, intimately. So, and they didn't have a toilet, and they died because their
I see.
Intestines were blown, so to say.
Take me please again to with Ukraine split.
Yes, about splitting. I say no, and I tell you why. If Putin is allowed to eat Crimea, then he will eat up the whole of Ukraine. He won't stop. Yes, as I mentioned, there is a proverb in English. So if you sup with the devil, use a long spoon. So if you give him to one finger, he will bite up your whole arm.
Wow.
Understand, this is his dream. I will tell you later,
sure.
if you wish. Yeah.
سألت معالي السفير بقول له هل يوكرين أو أوكرانيا هتنقسم زي مثلا جنوب السودان انقسمت عن السودان، فبيقول لي لا مش هتنقسم. انما فسالته عن الاحصائيه نسبه قد ايه ناس من اوكرانيا بينتموا للاصل الروسي، فقال لي في كل اوكرانيا 18%. بالنسبه لعدد سكان اوكرانيا حوالي 45 مليون ناس، فبقول 18% منهم تقريبا هم فقط اللي جايين من خلفيه روسيه، لكن في شبه جزيره القرم النسبه بتصل لحوالي 60%. هو بقى عنده مشكله ثانيه بتناقش انه لو بوتين من وجهة نظره التهم شبه جزيرة القرم، ده معناه ان هو هيكون عينه على كل اوكرانيا، وضرب مثل انجليزي بانك لما تكون بتعبث يعني مع الشيطان واديت له صباعك فهو غالبا هياخد بقية دراعك. Please,
yes, this is it. So
what would keep Ukrainians together? Like what would keep the 18%?
Yes, this is very good question. So the one thing for which we would be thankful to Putin for making the nation unite.
Okay.
You know, if previously there was very much controversy actually whether Ukraine is a viable state, whether it has the right to exist at all, whether Ukraine needs this independence or not. You know,
there are questions about the identity of
now,
Ukraine.
95% of the population say we are Ukrainians. 95%.
But the 5% are those who want to secede.
I don't know. Who those 5%
we don't
are.
know. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Mr. Putin has been in power for 12 years. 14. What do you mean 12? 14. Right. For 14
with
years.
With the Prime Minister.
Yes, with various fluctuations. Yeah. The economic result is zero.
Really?
Yes. The economy is in ruins. Actually, the only thing on which Russia thrives is oil and gas and armaments, naturally. That's all. But if the oil and gas end, or if the prices fall, what happens?
Right.
No more money to infuse into the region.
Most of the importers are Europeans by themselves.
Yes, and no money to modernize his army. He's been doing recently enormous job trying to modernize his army. Though it is still obsolete, but still it's better than ours.
Okay.
Than ours.
Sure. Let me translate this.
Yes.
هو بيرى انه اولا الاوكرانيين عمرهم ما توحدوا زي ما هم متوحدين النهارده. خد بالكم انا الكلام ده بنسمع جانب يعني من الصوره، مش كل يعني ممكن لو سمعنا من وجهه نظر ثانيه نسمع كلام تاني، بس المعنى انه بوتين عمل خدمه كبيره جدا لاوكرانيا، ان اوكرانيا كانت فتره طويله الناس بتتساءل هي تنفع اصلا تكون دوله، لازم تنقسم ما تنقسمش. شغلك هو النهارده بقى في كده زي ما يكون عدو خارجي وحد كل الاوكرانيين على ان احنا عايزين نعيش مع بعض، فبقول حوالي 95% عايزين يعيشوا مع بعض و5% مش عايزين. غالبا ال 5% دول ممكن يكونوا الناس اللي عايزين ينضموا لروسيا. وجهة نظره انه بوتين بقدر ما عمل خدمة لاوكرانيا بالمعنى ده، لكن مش هينجح، لانه بقول انه بوتين في السلطة بقى له 14 سنة بين رئيس ورئيس وزراء، وفي النهاية المنتج النهائي للاقتصاد الروسي من وجهة نظره صفر. انا مش متاكد من المعلومه دي برضه عشان اكون امين يعني، بس هو بيقول انها وجهة نظره انه ما حققش كتير. لا تزال روسيا حتى الان بتعتمد على الصادرات المواد الخام، على رأسها البترول والغاز والكلام ده، واحنا بالمعلومات عارفين ان معظم الدول اللي بتستورد منه اصلا هي دول من اوروبا يعني، فبالتالي جزء من العائد الدولارات اللي بتروح او اليوروز اللي بتروح لروسيا بتيجي اساسا من الاتحاد الاوروبي. بيتكلم ان الاقتصاد للاسف انه حصل تحديث كبير للجيش الروسي، بس ده مش ضمانه انه روسيا هتكون بنفس القوه. So you think if there is number one there would be a cold war or no, and if there is cold war you think who would be the winner?
Cold war. We know actually that no one is going to fight for Ukraine. This is obvious.
Nobody's going to fight for
Nobody
Ukraine.
is going to fight. Though, as you say, there are number of agreements where such countries as the USA, Russia, Britain, and France are guarantors of Ukraine's sovereignty, borders, and so on and so forth. But as was it Bismarck?
Bismarck United. Okay.
Bismarck, the Chancellor of Germany.
Sure. United Germany.
Who said that any agreement with the Russians is not worth the paper it's written on.
Right, he said that.
So when we started telling the Russians, so you are under this agreement.
Americans are the best to quote this. This one was saying from Bismarck, right?
Really? So you are the guarantors. Crimea doesn't fall under this agreement. Why? Why? Ukraine renounced the third largest nuclear arsenal. The third largest after USA, Russia, and ours was the third largest nuclear arsenal. We agreed to give it up in return to receive guarantees.
The national integrity of Ukraine.
Exactly, exactly. So the Budapest Memorandum of 1994.
Right.
So what do we see? It doesn't fall under this agreement.
Right.
Why?
So Bismarck was right again.
Yes, again. Yeah.
Okay.
Now we've been trying. Sorry,
Sure.
we've been sending notes. You know, Putin said that there is not a single Russian soldier on the Ukrainian territory.
Right.
Yeah. So we've been sending notes to the government of Russia, confirm officially that there is no Russian soldier. But since they do not recognize this government, they're not obliged to reply. I went to your Minister of Foreign Affairs and tried to find out what the position of the Egyptian government is on the issue. And I was told there is no position. I know why, naturally, I know why. And I was said exactly the same. Since Mr. Putin said that there is no soldiers, so we believe him. We should investigate this somehow, but how? The UN Special Representative went to the He was not allowed in. OSCE people went, they were not allowed in. So they would see the Russian uniform, cars with Russian number plates, and so on and so forth.
Okay.
Okay, you can talk.
Sure.
You do it wonderfully well, you see. You have a wonderful memory.
I'm doing my best.
Yes, I see that you are.
احنا دخلنا في حتتين جامدين شويه. هو رقم واحد بيقول انه محدش بيصدق روسيا، وخد كوت او اقتباس من بسمارك موحد المانيا في القرن 19 انه اي اتفاقيه ما بين اي حد وروسيا لا تساوي الحبر المكتوب عليها، لانه روسيا لا تؤمن بالاتفاقات والحاجات زي كده. وبالتالي هو بيقول احنا عندنا مشكله مع روسيا، لان روسيا وعدتنا يعني اوكرانيا بعد الاتحاد السوفيتي ما انهار، حضرتك تفتكر الاتحاد السوفيتي انهار في 91 وكان في 15 جمهوريه، كان واحده من الجمهوريات اسمها اوكرانيا، اوكرانيا ساعتها كانت ثالث اكبر دوله في العالم عندها اسلحه نوويه. اوكرانيا تخلت عن كل الاسلحه النوويه مقابل حاجه واحده، انه يحافظوا على التكامل الاقليمي بتاعها، انه ما حدش يحتل منها اي جزء، ما حدش يجي يقول هاتوا شبه جزيره القرم والكلام ده.